Pecha Kucha 189, Star Wars Day, and Batman. So, May the 4th was Monday. That's Star Wars Day. May the Force be with you. May the 4th. Yeah, look, it wasn't my idea, but someone let me know sometime last year that's the deal. There was a sale on Steam. That reminded me. My week was affected. So I almost got a job on 5 Squid as well. The guy I did storyboards for earlier in the year in January asked me to do a custom job. I would basically have had to pay the money he would give me to give to 5 Squid so that I could set up that custom job. So in the end, I had to tell him no. Anyway, back to me faffing around. So I just decided I was going to do some kind of Darth Vader meme thing that would also double up as my first fake advert for my Smiley Show, page 6. I found a great stock photo of a guy in a Darth Vader suit pointing, which is the perfect meme picture. You just insert your own text, and I was just like, I'm going to have him sell a DVD of Mickey Mouse doing Elvis songs, because that's what my brain told me I should do. And the idea was that Darth Vader would say something like, "I am Star Wars, now buy this," right? And in the end, I decided he should say, I am your father." Really, the whole point of this was just to make a stupid joke. Unfortunately, I had to draw a picture of Darth Vader. I decided there was going to be like some kind of aggressive text in the background saying, "Buy this now." So I actually spent more time than I would have liked trying to just create some kind of background. Probably would have been quicker and simpler to use an existing font instead of all the weird copy and pasting I did. These are the kind of graphic design things that I really don't care for, but I at least like to let you half see what I was thinking. I didn't do an awful lot of Smiley Show this week. I've just grown sick of it being the thing that's got to get done, which isn't a surprise at all. Starting to colour in the memes. One day this will be finished, and it will. I'm not going to say it will make sense, but you will see what I create, and that will be that. I did watch a tutorial from some guy on how to draw paint faster. It's your typical clickbait kind of art video. It was useful to a point. Really, one of the core things he mentioned was like, don't zoom in on your work. Just try and really just not zoom in. Also, if you're going to take on something, make sure it's not entirely out of your comfort zone. Break down your knowledge into chunks like he's done here, and then only do something that matches most of your existing abilities but is maybe going to push you specifically in one additional area like perspective or anatomy. So I decided to just draw some random picture of Batman without zooming in, and I found I was actually zooming in without realizing I was doing it. But the idea was to say, hey, this is going to be A4, so I'm going to zoom in on my Cintiq, so it's more or less the canvas is equal to a piece of A4 relative to the actual size of my hardware. So this is what it would look like on my screen, basically splitting the page in half. Any closer than this, then I'm kind of, well, cheating is maybe not the word. If you're working on a piece of paper, all you do is move your head closer to the page when you want to do the details. So, Batman's jumping down from a height. The idea is that the Joker's running away kind of at a weird angle, shooting his gun at a weird angle with a delirious, insane happy look on his face, because it's all going crazy. I added a little bit of window breaking or something to the foreground to give it a bit of depth. What I found though is, as I was trying to draw the Joker's face without zooming in, drawing the Joker at the best of times in an aesthetically pleasing way is beyond me. So I had to cheat. I had to zoom in. I'm using my chalk brush to kind of shave away and put in these big black areas and then shave them away. Because that's something I just enjoy doing. I like making a mess when I draw and then trying to clean it up and turn it into something. I think more or less I got the expression I was looking for. I never really know what to do with the Joker's hair or how big his grin should be, or because I kind of want to default to drawing the animated Batman Joker from the 90s with a really big nose, because that I can do that. It's easy, but it's also kind of like a cheat. So I got to a point where I was like, what am I going to do with the background? I had this idea that Batman's cape would be kind of like parachuting around him, and he's holding it, and he's intentionally being theatrical because that's what Batman does. I'm not sure I nailed that, and in the end I thought the background... I mean, I know there's a lot of cross-hatching and it's a mess anyway, but that was too much. So ultimately I kind of started dropping in other villains, starting with Deathstroke on the right, who I have literally no idea how to draw. But since he's looking away from the camera, it doesn't really matter. And then I ended up filling the rest of the kind of white space on the left-hand side with Penguin and Two-Face, and I was definitely disinclined to put any effort into drawing them accurately. It was really just, I'm just filling the white space here, and I think this is probably the most suitable way for me to go about doing that. All in, I probably spent about just under 2 hours on this, and I feel like this is a great place to stop, because at this point any additional work I do is going to be disproportionate to the gains I make. It's not perfect by any stretch of the imagination. You can see what I'm going for. I'll leave it up to the viewer to fill in the blanks and the inadequacies in the art. So not really a sad clown of the week, but it was Star Wars Day on Monday. I didn't just draw Darth Vader. I also got me some Star Wars games super duper cheap on Steam, including one of the best Star Wars games ever made, Knights of the Old Republic. It's a miracle it works on Windows 10 for most people. It seems like it doesn't. I played it from start to finish. BioWare made it. It's very bloody good. It's not that dated, considering it's probably about 15 years old. Yeah. It's, if you want to call it Sad Clown of the Week, you can, in the idea that BioWare as a company are unlikely to make a game of this quality ever again. Mass Effect is better. But then, they ended up making Anthem. A separate team ended up making Mass Effect Andromeda, so their legacies are destroyed. EA might have even already put them out to pasture. They have a history of buying companies, ruining them financially, critically, and their reputations, and then shit-canning them. BioWare are dangerously close to being in that position now. And this game shows you what their potential was many years ago, and they did realize a lot of that, and it's very unlikely it's going to happen again. But that brings us to the end of Pecha Kucha 189, so I will see you next time.